Welcome to Sew with Monty. This is just a quick little video to show you how to do a quarter turn hem on a curve. That can be very difficult unless you know this little secret. So what I've done first is about 3/16 to 1/4 inch from the edge. I've done a very long stitch length of 5, and I've done a little stay stitch all the way through the hemline. And I left the strings long. Now part of this you can see is kind of puckered. That's what I'm going to do to both sides. So this side's still flat, but you just want to cup it just a little bit like this. So you take one string and you just take your thumb and just work a little bit of puckering in there. And you don't want to overdo this. You just want a little bit so it just cups. And once you get it to cup, you can do the next special little trick. So I'm just going to pull it a little bit farther so my cupping goes all the way through. And see, now it's wanting to cup all the way through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pins, let me get my pins here, and I'm going to start by pinning it with a 1/4 inch turn under. I don't want any more, so this stitch is going to be very close to the edge of my first fold. See, just like that. If you've got an apparent tuck, work it out. You don't want this to be gathered or tucked. You just want it to be cupped. And there's a definite difference. Make sure you keep it a 1/4 inch turn under, like this. Now this is great on a shirt tail hem, a flared skirt where you just want a small hem and you don't want to have a bulky hem in it. And if you're having trouble trying to do it, or you don't have a hemming foot, a baby hemming foot, or a quarter turn foot, this is an excellent way to have this hem work without a foot. Now just keep adjusting it so that your turn under is a 1/4 inch. That's the main thing. And then once you have it pinned, you do your first pressing. So I'm almost there, and then we're going to press this, and then we're going to turn it and press it again. This helps the first turn go so nicely that the second turn isn't a challenge. See? Just like that. Now I'm going to press it. Just bump pressing along through here, because I just want to train it to stay down. That's my main goal right now, is just to get it to stay down. And then, once I have this pressed, I'm going to take all my pins out, and I'm going to roll it again and press it a second time. So that it's about pressing right now more than it is anything. Now if you turn it this way and you see that it's a little too puckered, just take your fingernail and rub over it, and you can relax it a little bit. But you can already see how nicely this is going to look. See how nice that hem is? You don't have twisting, you don't have little tucks, you have a nice round curve. It's just a great little secret. It's about the pressing more than the sewing, because once you have this pre-pressed, you can pretty much just sew away. Now you don't have to do this on a straight edge, but let's say you have just a curved area on your hem, like a men's shirt hem. You can just do it in the curved area. You don't have to run the stay stitch throughout the whole hem, because this can be a disadvantage on a straight edge just as much as it is an advantage on a curve. But you can see how nice that lays. See, just pinned, it's still nice. So I'm just going to press this in. Again, investing in glass head pins is a good idea, especially for the pressing part, because the plastic head pins, if you're doing this, they're going to melt. And they're either going to stick to your ironing board or stick to your fabric. And see how pretty that is? And we haven't even sewn it yet. So the next step is we're just going to go to the sewing machine and we're going to sew this little hem in. So now we're ready to sew our double fold hem in. And I've got it set with my needle to the left so that most of my foot is going to be on the hem itself. You can adjust that, test it, and see which works best for you. And I've got a 3 stitch length. Now notice I'm sewing on the inside, not the outside. I want to make sure I catch this edge. always keep your tension nice so that the back side looks as good as the front side, and this won't be an issue. So I'm coming in just a little bit from the edge, and I'm just going to go forward a little bit. If you need to back up, you can. If it's going all the way around, you can just overlap the stitch. And I'm just going to catch just that edge. And how I'm doing it is I'm lining the fold of my hem up with the inside edge of this tine of my foot. That way I know I'm just catching the edge of my hem, no more. And I'm just going to go along here nice and gently. Just go slow. Don't get in a hurry on these curves. You don't want to pull on it because you could cause it to twist, so try not to pull on it. And I'm using my index finger on my left hand just to hold it flat and make sure it feeds through the machine very carefully. Just, if you're doing this, don't get too close to the needle with your finger because that's a whole nother issue. And I'm just going to go all the way to the end. Again, nice and slow. There's no rush here. And when I pull it out, and I just like to kind of what I call finger press it before I get back to the iron. But see how nice that looks? And I haven't even pressed it yet. After I press it, it's going to be beautiful. And see the right side of it? So that's the secret of making a 1/4 inch fold hem on a curve.